Welcome, baseball fans, to tonight's broadcast of CYC Baseball. Coming to you from the pristine Our Lady of Guadalupe baseball diamond here in beautiful Ferguson, Missouri. Tonight's matchup features two classic North St. Louis County rivals in this postseason exhibition game. The home team this evening, the 6th grade boys of Blessed Teresa of Calcutta, facing off against the 5th grade boys of St. Anne. It's the Blue Angels versus the Crusaders. With the players warming up in the outfield and the coaches setting the bases, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. For BTC, leading off and starting on the mound, it's Amos Keller. Batting second is Ren Moore, followed by Liam Armand. Eddie Gutting batting cleanup, and then we'll see Gus Moore. Matthew Knapp, followed by Leo Wheeler. Then we'll see Hudson Ryan, Fletcher Mayfield, Landon Williams, and finally Mario Gibbs. Going for the St. Anne Crusaders, leading off will be Oliver Dully, Owen Brawford, followed by Joey Branoff, John Reft, then Jace Knowles, Cameron Tobler, Neil Boley, and Abraham McFarland. Our umpire this evening, making his debut appearance behind the plate, is young Theodore Reed. Theo's appeared for both of these teams over the past season. We're excited to see him try his hand at balls and strikes tonight. The lineups have been exchanged, the ground rules reviewed, national anthem and team prayer are complete. A reminder to all our loyal listeners, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by our proud sponsors at SportsPrint. For all your team, corporate, and promotional apparel, SportsPrint has you covered, providing high quality and timely delivery since 1973. And by Dully Law Firm, representing St. Louis sports fans with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Consider Dully Law Firm for your legal needs. And by the Catholic Youth Council of the Archdiocese of St. Louis, building communities of faith through sports across the city of St. Louis since 1941. And now it's time for CYC Baseball. And a first offering from Keller to leadoff man Dully is a ball outside, second, across but in the dirt for ball 2. That's across for a strike. They play him straight away on the infield, bit deep in the outfield. Oliver Dully is a power threat, a couple of extra base hits. And that's ball 4. Umpire Theo signals. And tight zone so far. That'll bring up number 45, Owen Brawford. Dully takes his lead. Swing and a miss. Going for BTC today is Amos Keller, as we see Dully take second, and it's a 1-1 count here for Brawford. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Close play at third. Dully slides in, and he's going to stay. Heads up play from the left fielder to keep it close. So a walk and 2 stolen bases puts Dully here on third. Brawford with a 2-strike count. He'd like to knock in Dully. The next from Keller. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He's out. And that'll bring up Joey. Joey among the team leaders in on-base percentage this season. He watches one across at the knees. Sun pouring in out of the third baseline here. 7:10 start time here at beautiful Our Lady of Guadalupe baseball field. The next for Joey, and that's in at the knees for a strike. Reft in the on-deck circle. And in the hole is Jace. The next from Amos. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes for Joey here. He is not a strikeout-prone batter. A tough out. The next from Keller. Bit high, but they call him out on strike 3. Strike 3 looking, and that'll bring up Reft. He'd like to knock in Dully. One on, 2 out. And here's the first from Keller. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him with a fastball. They play him deep in the outfield. The next. Swing and a miss. Way ahead of that one on the changeup. Shallow right field fence here at Guadalupe, but a huge left field. Hard hit back at the pitcher. Off his glove. Dully comes home. Refs a speedster, and he gets the RBI single. And he's going to try to advance for 2. The throw is there. Not close. And Ref takes advantage with some heads-up base running to extend his single and make his way to second base on the overthrow. An RBI hit. Tough comebacker. And it's 1-0. Off the heel of the glove for Keller. Quick reflexes there. There goes Reft. He takes third. First pitch to Jace is in the dirt. And Jace would like to knock in Reft here, who takes a big lead from third. The pitch. That's across at the letters for strike 1. After Jace, we'll see Cameron, followed by Neal and Abe. Ref scampers back to third. The pitch outside and in the dirt. Ref's going to hold at third. It's a shallow backstop here at OLG. Stealing home is not easy. And Keller works with a 2-1 count here. Jace beats his bat on the home plate and stares down the pitcher. That's across at the knees for strike 2. Catcher eyeballing Ref down the third base line. Ref trips his way back to the third base, and Keller's back on the mound. Takes a long look. Kicks and delivers. That's across just outside. Ball 3, and it's full count. Full count, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming now. Fouled up, and foul ball scooped up by the catcher. Toss back out to Keller. Ref will head back to third base, and Jace digs in. Beats the bat on the plate once again. The pitch. High fly to left. This could be trouble. Oh, diving catch. Great play by shortstop Eddie Gutting to end this inning. And after the top of the first, it's 1-0. We'll be back in the bottom of the first. This is CYC Baseball. Bottom of the first here at Our Lady of Guadalupe. In the top half, St. Anne jumped out to a 1-0 lead off the base running of Oliver Dully and an RBI hit from John Reft. It's now Cameron on the mound, wearing number 22, pitching for St. Anne. In the bottom half, Amos Keller leads off for the Blue Angels. He'll be followed by Ren Moore and Liam Armand. If anyone gets on, we'll see Eddie Gutting. The second from Cameron. That's back to the screen as well, just a bit outside. Keller digs back in, awaits the 2-0 delivery here from Cam. He gnaws the gum, long look, kicks, pitches. And it's 3-0 now. Got to be there on this one. And it's up high. That's 4 straight, and Keller will take his base. He jogs down to first. Dully shades towards second. Cameron takes his place back on the mound. Takes a look. Cameron now going from the windup. Comes set. Balks. Balks again. The pitch. Up. Keller gets a good jump, and ref launches it into center field. And Amos is going to take an extra base. He gets around to third. 2 steals for Keller. And it's quickly runners in scoring position here for the Blue Angels. Cameron back on the mound. Takes a long look, gets the sign, comes set. The pitch. Strike 1. Swing and a miss from Wren. Big cut. He'd like to knock in Keller here, who is dancing off of third base, ready to go. A big cloud's taken over, giving us some relief from that evening sun glaring into the right fielder's eyes. The next from Cam. Way back, and that bounces straight to the catcher. Keller can't do anything with that. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike here for Moore. Number 22 comes set, kicks and delivers. Way up high. That bounces away from the catcher. Tossed to home, too late. And that's a steal of home and a run in. It's a tie game, 1-1. And now the bases are empty. Nobody out. 3 balls here. The next to Ren Moore. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And we'll get a payoff pitch here. Full count. They play him straight away on the infield. Play him to pull in the outfield. Cameron comes set, kicks, and delivers. That's across the letters for strike 3. And that's the first out of this one. Our very own Theo calling balls and strikes tonight, looking sharp in his umpire gear. That'll bring up Liam Armon with 1 out, nobody on. The pitch. Changeup. Got him way out in front. Just about bounced on the plate. Eddie Gutting on deck swinging. And in the hole, Gus Moore. The next, just outside. A close one for Liam, and it's 1-1. Beautiful evening here at OLG. A few high clouds in the sky. The light's now taking effect. And Liam's hitting the back there. Hit by pitch. He's going to take his base right in the square to back. And he's going to head down. And that'll bring up Eddie Gutting. Man on first takes his lead. Cameron comes set. The pitch. A little high. And there goes Liam, scampering down to second base. He gets in safely. And with a man in scoring position, Eddie Gutting looks to knock in an RBI. The pitch. Way high. Bounces. And the catcher can't do anything with that. Liam Armon quickly finds himself on third base after being hit by a pitch. Cameron struggling with his command. Velocity is decent. The next, changeup. Shot down the first base line, fielded cleanly, and St. Anne will trade an out for a run. And a sacrifice RBI there from Gutting makes it a 2-1 game. Well done. And it's 2-1 with 2 outs. Sidearm delivery from Cameron. This is Gus Moore wearing number 1 for the Blue Angels. A sidearm delivery there, but to no avail. It's ball 1. The next, sidearm behind him. Matthew Knapp on deck now, waiting his chance. The bases are clear. 2 outs, 2-1 game here in the bottom of the first. The next from Cameron. Just high. A changeup. Right at the chin there for Gus. St. Anne sends out Abraham in left field. Joey at third base. Jace at short. Oliver at second base. Owen at first. And it'll be Neal in right field. Gus works his walk. Makes his down to first base, and it's Matthew Knapp digging in. Looking to add to the Blue Angels' 2-1 lead. Gus takes his lead from first. Cameron checks the runner, kicks and pitches. A little high. No throw down. Leo Wheeler on deck with 2 outs. Runner on second. Big lead. Tricked him. And this will be an out. No, he's called safe somehow. And they call the runner safe at third. Cameron fooled Gus, but Gus went ahead to third and avoided the tag. The next for Matthew Knapp. Change up. Just outside. Cameron mixing up velocities, trying to keep these batters off balance. Cameron gnaws on the gum. Long look at the runner. The pitch. Floating in just high. And that's ball 4 for Knapp. He'll take first base, and that'll bring up Leo Wheeler with runners at first and third and 2 outs. The first for Wheeler. In at the knees. I think that was called a ball. Sun peeking out from behind the cloud now in right field. Cameron steps off to check the runners. And everyone heads back. Comes set again. The pitch. Just high. And Matthew will take second base. And that'll put runners at second and third with 2 outs. Leo Wheeler looking to add to this lead. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Blocked. And here comes Gus. It's going to be a close play. And he's in safely at home. The toss from Reft hit the batter in the helmet and bounced away from Cameron, who did well to snatch it up before Knapp could advance home as well. And it's now 3-1. Runner on third, 2 outs. Wheeler with 1 strike. And here's the next from Cameron. The pitch. That one floats up and outside. Another ball. And this inning dragging into its 12th minute. Cameron steps off, checks the runner. He wants to keep him honest. The next for Wheeler. Here it is. Just high. And that's ball 4, which will bring up Hudson Riot, wearing number 13. He digs in, wearing batting gloves and the cage mask. Man on first, man on third, 2 out. 3-1 game here in the bottom of the first inning. The first to Hudson, right across for strike 1. And Wheeler takes second without a throw. Two runners in scoring position here for Ryan. The pitch. In the dirt. And that squeaks past the catcher. But Matthew Knapp unable to advance. A 1-1 count here for Hudson. Cameron, long look in, gets the signs. Kicks in the pitch. Swing and a miss. They play him straight away in the outfield. Straight up on the infield. Owen Brofford over at first base battling the sun, glaring right across the horizon into his eyes. Things aren't any easier for Neal out in right field. The next for Ryan, just high. And the count runs 2-2. Cameron hoping to put him away without any more damage. Long look, checks the runners, and the pitch. That's in, across the letters, just high. And it's full count. Fletcher Mayfield on deck. He'd like to get a chance to knock in runs. The payoff pitch, that's in for ball 4, apparently. Tough call there for Cameron. And it's bases loaded. 2 outs. The next from Cameron. Fastball, strike 1. Just about the hardest pitch we've seen Cameron throw all day. Clearly frustrated with that last ball 4 call. Here's the next. Fouled off into the stands. And that comes into the broadcast booth. We'll toss it back. And Fletcher quickly finds himself in an 0-2 hole. But with bases loaded, anything can happen here. Strike 3. And after 1, it's 3-1 Blue Angels. You're listening to CYC Baseball. Top of the second inning action here at Our Lady of Guadalupe baseball field. Keller back out, pitching for the Blue Angels. After 1, it's 3-1.
Mario ball.
And we'll see Cameron leading off for the St. Anne Crusaders here. It'll be Cam, then Neil, followed by Abe. If anyone gets on, we'll see the top of the food chain with Oliver Dully again.
Hey, gotcha. You throw down this leg, loses power, so you need to come over the top of that front leg.
And we've got a batter. We've got a pitcher. And we've got live CYC baseball right here at OLG on July 2nd, 2025. Beautiful field before us. First one in. Believe that was a ball. And the second in the dirt. Ball 2. Sun finally sinking down behind the hill. And 2-0 pitch from Keller. Freezes Cameron. That's strike 1. Keller working quickly. Ground ball to the left side. Fielded. Nope. Picked up by the shortstop after the third baseman booted it. And Cameron's speed easily gets him in for a leadoff single, which will bring up Neal. Amos back up on the rubber.
Thank you. The water bottle wasn't in there.
That one's just outside as Cameron takes second base with a steal. Eddie Gutting does well to snag it out of the dirt and keep it on the infield. Ball 1 to Neal. The next from Keller, he's working quickly. There goes Cameron for third. Great slide in. Didn't even need it as that one goes back to the screen. And Neal's got a man in scoring position. And that's what St. Anne will need to dig themselves out of this 3-1 hole. Amos checks the runner. They're not holding him at third. Big lead from Cameron. The next for Neal. That's across the belt for strike. A true pipe shot there for Neal. He's ready to swing the bat now. That's in for another strike. Neal bails out, but it was in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes for young Neal. Keller working quickly, trying to keep his rhythm. The next, that's in for strike 3 looking. And Neal heads back to the dugout to bring up Abraham McFarland. Abraham wearing number 21. He gets in with a wide stance, points the bat up to the heavens, and digs in. The first from Keller. Swing and a miss. Just outside, a nice pitch from Amos. The next. Ball in play down the third base line. Going to be close. Fielded with the bare hand. Amos with a good throw, stretch. And they just get Abraham with a slick 1-3 play. Nice bare hand fielding from Amos Keller to get the out. But an RBI for Abraham makes this game 3-2. With the bases empty and 2 outs, it'll be Oliver looking to start a 2-out rally here. Dully digs in on the left side. The pitch right across for strike 1. And Oliver steps out to wrestle with his shoelaces. Owen Brawford on deck. Joey in the hole. After a couple of very hot weeks, we've had some exquisite weather for this time of year. 4th of July, just a couple days away. And we're here playing CYC Baseball on Wednesday night. And here's the next. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, and Dully finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Keller digs back in. From the windup, the pitch. Just outside, and that's back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes here for Dully. They play him straight away on the infield. Just a bit to pole with the left fielder shading towards center here. Oliver's a left-handed batter. The next for him. Swing and a miss. He was behind that one. And St. Anne scratches one across, but the Blue Angels hang on to their lead. It's 3-2. Bottom of the 2nd inning here at Our Lady of Guadalupe. Owen Brawford now on the mound in relief of Cameron. His first pitch is right down the middle. Called a ball there. This is Landon Williams, wearing number 3, digging in from the left side to lead off the 2nd. The next from Brawford. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That had a little heat behind it as he blows it past Williams, and it's 1-1. Oliver Dully blows a bubble over at third base. Cameron now on at shortstop. That's in for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Neal makes his way in from right field. He's playing second base now. John Reft now playing first base. Behind the dish is Jace. He awaits the next offering from Brawford. The 1-2 offering. Here it is. Put in play up the middle. This could be trouble. Williams has speed. He's going to turn and look for second. Nobody's covering second. The ball's thrown in, and Cameron relays it into Owen. A stand-up double for Williams. Nice piece of hitting and some slick base running as well. And that'll bring up number 8, Mario Gibbs. The first from Brawford. Landon Williams will take third base. The 1-0 pitch from Brawford. Here it is. In the dirt. Blocked nicely by Jace. Keeps it in front and keeps the runner at third. Top of the food chain here in Amos Keller on deck. That one's just inside. And it's 3-0. The 3-0 from Brawford. Floats one across, and it's ball 4. And it'll be first and third, nobody out for Keller. The first to Keller. That's in for ball 1. And Mario takes second base. That pitch on the inside half, ball 2. The next, inside half, 3-0. Brawford takes a long look. Comes set, and the pitch in the dirt. That's ball 4, which will load the bases. That'll bring up Ren Moore. And bases loaded, nobody out. Brawford is in a real jam here. That's on the inside half. And the runners all have to stay. The 1-0 here from Brawford. Right across. And runners are going to go. All the runners advance, including Landon Williams, who comes around to score. Chase took a hard one off the ankle there, but he's tough and he's back in the game. Pickoff attempt, and he's out. A nice move from Brawford to take a threat off the bases. Mario Gibbs was caught unaware. A nice pickoff move from Brawford. And a good tag by Dully. And that's one out. There goes Keller. He's digging for third. And he's in standing up, and there's no one at home plate. He thinks about going all the way around. And he's going to hold at third base. His time is called. And so, with one out, one on, and one in, it's a 4-2 game here in the bottom of the second. Ren Moore still at the dish. Chase Knowles adjusts the shin guards, picks up the helmet, and he's getting back to work. Brawford back on the mound. Keller takes his lead over at third. Comes set, and the pitch. Strike. Right across. Swinging strike there for Wren. He's not afraid to swing at a pitch he likes. Brawford, the next delivery, way up high. Keller thinks about coming home, but he can't do it as it bounces right back to the defense. And that's ball 4 for Wren, which will bring up Liam Armand. Wren takes his lead from first. Amos at third. Owen checks the runners. Attempts a pickoff. Close. Tag applied by Dully, but Amos is back in safely, and Wren back to first. The next from Brawford. Here comes Amos. He's got to retreat. That OLG backstop is bouncy. Plays in favor of these catchers for pass balls. It's Eddie Gutting on deck. The next for Liam, up at his chin. Wren takes second base on that ball back. Brawford back. Long look. Comes set. Drops it. Comes set again. Swing and a miss. Back to the screen. Here comes Keller. Going to be a close play. And Knowles freezes. And there's no play there. Amos comes in. And Wren advances. Moore now on third base. Liam awaits the 2-1 delivery here from Brawford. Swing and a miss. That's back to the screen. Two balls, 2 strikes. One out here in the bottom of the second inning. Ren Moore takes his lead from third. The next for Liam. Swing and a miss. That's dropped. Thrown down to first. And the out is there, but they'll have to trade it for a run as Wren, with some heads-up base running, comes home. And with 2 outs, we'll see Eddie Gutting. With the bases empty. And Blue Angels jump out to a 6-2 lead here over the Crusaders. That's in play up the middle. Fielded cleanly by Cameron. Gonna be close. That's in the dirt and nearly out of play. Past ref. He throws back to second. And Gutting will advance on the overthrow. And with Gutting taking his run from second, he's in easily to third on a ball in the dirt to Gus Moore. And so with 2 outs, the Crusaders once again find themselves defending a runner in scoring position, this time with Gus at the plate and Eddie Gutting takes his lead. He checks the runner over at third. He's back in safely. The pitch from Brawford. And that one was touched by no one. Called a strike. And that clocks as Owen's fastest pitch of the night. Up and into Gus for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here. Theo gives the confirmation. 2 balls, 1 strike. The next from Brawford. That's in for strike 2. And the 2-2 offering. Gutting casually on third. Theo says play ball. Here's the lead. Owen comes set. The 2-2 with 2 outs. Just inside. Here comes Gutting. And Theo says he is safe. The ball squirts away. And that'll be 4 runs in for the Blue Angels. And with the bases empty, Gus looking to start another 2-out rally here. Crusaders have struggled to find that third and final out in this inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And the runner's called out after mistakenly kicking the ball as the catcher tried to field it. And Theo rules him out. And that means we're looking at a 7-2 game. And we're heading into the top of the third. Play without a play. And with the bases empty, nobody out, Joey's got a full count to work with. Mayfield looks to put him away. You play him straight away in the infield, shallow in center, deep in left. They know something we don't. That pitch is just outside, and so... Well, now it's full count. My mistake. And with 3-2 delivery, the payoff pitch coming here. Foul ball into the broadcast booth. What's up? You're after Jason.
He's up right now.
No, that's Joey. Be Joey, John, Jace, you. All right. And Joey stays alive here. Another full count offering from Mayfield. Here it comes. Right down central for strike 3. And 1 out here. That'll bring up Reft. Reft had an RBI single first time through. He'd like another single here. The pitch. Hit hard to the left side. Fielded. And a good throw. Stretch. And they get him with a 6-3 putout. That'll bring up Jace with 2 outs.
That is a clean plate.
Good job, Theo.
And here's the first from Mayfield to Jace Knowles. Swing and a miss, way ahead of that one. Got him out front with the changeup. Knowles beats his bat on the plate and digs back in. Batting from the right side with the white batting helmet and the black batting gloves. The pitch just outside, a little low, and it's 1-1. Fletcher back on the mound. Stretch for the signs. The pitch. Fouled off to the right side down the first base line. And that's strike 2 for Knowles. Knowles strolls back to home plate. Grabs the bat, hits the plate, and looks for the next 1-2 pitch here from Mayfield. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He dropped it. He needs to be running to first, but he doesn't, and he's out. That's 3 outs. And after 2.5 innings, it's 7-3. Blue Angels in the lead. Bottom of the 3rd inning here at OLG. The Crusaders scratch 1 back, but it's still 7-3. Blue Angels with a comfortable lead going into their half of the 3rd. Leading off for BTC, it'll be Matthew Knapp. Oliver Dully now on in relief of Brawford. Brawford takes his position over at third base. At first base, Joey. Second base, Abraham. Shortstop is Neal. In left field, it's Cameron. And in right field, it's Jace. Oliver Dully made a number of pitching appearances for the Crusaders this season. And he's on here in the bottom of the 3rd, facing leadoff man Matthew Knapp. The first. Just inside. Ball 1. The next from Dully. Foul back. Strike 1. And that bounces all the way back out to the pitcher's mound. Beautiful evening for baseball here. Upper 70s. Sunny skies. Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Reft. Big thanks to Mr. Milt, who's kept our practice field and now our game field this evening picture perfect all season. Beautifully manicured grass across the outfield. Well-tended dirt on the infield. And 3 beautiful crosses overlooking the center field grandstand out beyond the lights. Matthew Knapp works a walk to lead off the inning. That'll bring up Leo Wheeler. After Leo, we'll see Hudson Ryan.
Agreed. Find him. Set him a fine.
And a bit of a lineup delay here. The popsicles are flowing on the BTC bench, and hopefully baseball is not becoming secondary here. And here we go. They're sending Wheeler to the plate. He's finding his bat, and he hustles out to the batter's box.
Who's on deck? Who's in the hole?
And with Matthew Knapp on first base, Dully looks in at Wheeler. The first from Dully. Swing and a miss. Squeaks past Reft. And Knapp's going to go into second base safely with a steal. Dully checks the runner at second.
Was he not okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean
He doesn't have his glasses on.
Okay.
Trying to find a helmet that fits.
Okay.
And a bit of an equipment malfunction here. We're going to switch batters here.
I didn't mean to rush him. You would have.
And Hudson Ryan hustles into the batter's box. The first pitch from Dully. Thrown down by Reft. Going to be close. Tag applied by Brawford. But Knapp is in safely with a steal of third. Knapp takes his lead from third. Dully steps off to check him. The next. Just inside. Gets past Reft. Knapp returns to third. The next. That's in for a strike. Nope. A ball.
You can hit it. Bust it. All right. Do it right.
That's in the dirt. Blocked by Reft. And that's ball 4.
Okay, I need the damn
Grab that bat.
And with runners on first and third, nobody out, Leo Wheeler back in after getting his equipment straightened out. The next from Dully. That's in for a strike. Call the ball. Close one. 2-0 pitch. In at the knees. Gets past Reft once again. And it's 3-0 here for Wheeler. And bases loaded here. Here comes Fletcher Mayfield with bases loaded and nobody out. Two of the outfielders taking a knee inexplicably. The pitch bounces off the plate, but the runners can't advance. Foul ball. That pitch was behind him. Fletcher ducked down, but it hit his bat. Terrible luck there. Terrible luck. Bases loaded. They lead all around. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Way high. Ball in play down to third base line. Crawford steps on third, and he'll get the runner over there. The run comes in. That's Matthew Knapp, and an RBI for Fletcher.
They're all blue. Put it on your head. I don't have one.
And so runners on first and second. 1 run in and 1 out here. That'll bring up Landon Williams. BTC trying to find a proper batting helmet here. And with 1 out and 2 on. Big lead from second by Leo Wheeler. The pitch from Dully. Ball 1 just high. Swing and a miss. Squeaks past Reft. 1 ball, 1 strike. Landon had a true blue double last time up. That ball's in the dirt, blocked by Reft. He'd like to follow up that performance with another double here, with runners at second and third and 1 out. It'll be Mario Gibbs on deck, followed by Amos Keller. The next from Dully just outside. They hold Wheeler over at third. Big lead from Mayfield at second. Oliver reminds him that he knows he's there. And Williams digs back in from the left side. The next from Dully. Hard hit into left field. Cameron scoops, fires it into home plate, and that gets past Reft. And Landon Williams is going to take second base as Fletcher Mayfield remains at third. A good hit from Williams. Hudson Ryan comes in to score. That'll bring up Mario Gibbs. First to him is strike 1. It's Amos Keller waiting on deck. Runners at second and third, and 1 out. The next from Oliver. He nearly picks off Mayfield. A tricky step-off move, may have been a balk. Tully comes set, gets the sign, the pitch. Just low, blocked by Reft. Lights taking full effect here, shining all around the infield and outfield. That's just inside. Here comes Mayfield, hustling home. And he's going to score. Williams over to third. That's 3 runs in for the Blue Angels. And with a runner at third, Mario awaits the next 1-out pitch here from Dully. Here it is, way high. And he lays off that one. The next, just outside, ball 4. Mario hustles down. He's got 2 walks on the night. And after facing 6 batters, Oliver's going to take over at first base. And they're going to the bullpen with Joey coming in. We'll be right back. You're listening to CYC Baseball. Joey Branoff in relief for Oliver Dully. Bottom of the 3rd inning action. Amos Keller strides up to the dish with runners on 1st and 3rd. Branoff wearing number 3 comes set, kicks, and the pitch in the dirt. And Mario takes second base with a steal. Runners at 2nd and 3rd here. 3 runs already in, 1 out. Branoff looking to stop the bleeding here and get out of the jam. Joey looks, comes set. The pitch. Bounces off home plate. Blocked by Reft. The next from Branoff. Long look in. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Two 2-1 to Keller. Runners lead from 2nd and 3rd. The next from Joey. In the dirt again. Keller at the dish. Ren Moore on deck. Liam Armon in the hole. The next here for Amos. In the dirt. Ball 4. This will be Ren Moore with the bases loaded and 1 out. He'd like to drive in some runners. Runners lead all the way around. The first for Ren Moore. In the dirt.
Come on, Joey, you can do that.
The 1-0 delivery here from Branoff. Kicks and pitches. Behind him. 2-0 for Moore. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Off the plate, ball 3.
Come on, Joey, you can do that.
He's going to bring you one. Ren, jump on it.
High fly ball into center field. This is going to knock in a couple more runs. And that should bring this inning to an end with 5 runs. 2 RBI single for Ren Moore. And we're headed to the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th inning here at OLG. Fletcher Mayfield back in to pitch here in the 4th. Cameron leading off this one, wearing number 22. And it'll be balls in. Much credit to our umpire this evening. Theo has been excellent, calling balls and strikes, base paths plays, lots of close calls here. It's never easy. And the balls will come in off the infield and the outfield. And we're ready for we're ready for top of the fourth inning action here. Cameron digs in on the right side. The first pitch from Mayfield. Just high, chin level. And next here from Fletcher. And that hits the batter in the elbow. And that means Neal strides up to the plate. As Fletcher Mayfield says, next victim. Cameron shakes it off. Mayfield checks on him kindly. And I'm sure within moments we'll see Cameron flying around the base paths. Neal digs in. The pitch. Up and in. He dives out of the way. Cameron, Neal, then Abe. We'll see Oliver after that. There goes Cameron. Ball in the dirt. Blocked nicely. And he's into second base with a stand-up steal. Neal with a hitter's 2-0 count. The next from Fletcher. That's low and outside. Cameron retreats back to second. Neal with a 3-0 count. He'd like to get on base any way he can. Abe lurking on deck, and Oliver in the shadows after that. The pitch. There goes Cam. Way up high. Pitch out, in fact. Not enough. Cameron's speed takes him in, and Neal's speed takes him down to first base. That'll bring up Abraham. Abe had a 1-3 ground out on an excellent play by Amos Keller in the second inning. He'd like to put it in play again. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And there goes Neal. It's one of his best base running moves of the year. A straight steal a second. And there's two runners in scoring position here for Abraham McFarland. Both runners lead. They throw over to third, and Cameron just takes it. Abe dives out of the way. And some heads-up base running from Cameron makes this game 12-4. Still a big hole for the young Crusaders. Neal checks on the open third base. He'd like to get there next. The pitch from Fletcher. Swing and a miss. There goes Neal. Going to be a close play. Catch, tag. He's out. Nicely done. And a put out on the base paths means bases are empty. With one out. Abraham's got 2 strikes on him. The pitch. That's a cross for strike 3. And in an unorthodox move here, Coach Reft has elected to use the golden batter option, calling upon the umpire, Theo, to be the golden batter here in the top of the fourth. And with 2 outs, nobody on, it'll be Theo looking to reach base against Fletcher Mayfield. The first for Theo. Hard hit down the first base line. Going to be a close play. Scooped by Wheeler. Tossed, and they get him on a close one. And he goes careening out into the right field grass. And he rules himself safe. BTC heads in. And that'll be the end of this one. BTC takes the W by a score of 12-4. This has been a broadcast of CYC Baseball. Thank you for joining us.
Too intimidating.